We'll get on to Arsenal because fuck me, what a performance against Real Madrid in the Champions League. A lot of people were thinking that this might be the moment where Arsenal will get a bit of a humbling, but no, they showed up big time. Jacob, I'm expecting you to have been there, surely. What was it like?
Please don't do that to me. You know I wasn't there. Don't break my heart again, bro. Look, my missus works Tuesdays. The draw was announced too late for her to get it off. I'd just been to Berlin, so I'd exhausted all the childcare. It doesn't matter. Even from my living room, even on Amazon fucking Prime. Surely this is a Sky Sports game. Anyway, I was dancing around the living room, mate. That second Rice free kick. Why have I been watching Ødegaard hit people's shins for 3 years? When Rice
This is it.
do
Like,
that?
what the fuck have we been watching?
I can't believe it. But it was one of those. It was like you knew after he hit that first one, the confidence came for his second one. And then the third goal.
Did you see the tweet from before the game? A kid in the stadium was like, Rice has been practicing free kicks hitting the top bins every single time. Jesus. So like it was coming, and look, and the fact that he ignored the advice from Ødegaard and the free kick, and our professional nerd,
the
nerd on the sidelines, he was like, "Nah, fuck it, I'm smashing it," because Saka was like, "Just hit it if you want to hit it."
But do you know what, Brian? I think that's what our team has lacked this year. I do think we're one of the top coach teams in Europe. I really do. I think Arteta's tactics, and you've seen Ole Einar, the guy from Forest, the fullback. He was saying how well coach we are. I saw Sander Berg, the Fulham midfielder, saying off the ball we're the best. But I think what we lack is what those old Wenger teams used to have, which is Henry, Vieira, Pires, big personalities who, when things aren't working, just go, fuck it, I'm just going to do my thing. Even teams like the Wenger team that had Alexis Sanchez in it, he would just go, I'm doing my thing now. And that's what we saw yesterday with Declan Rice, just going, fuck it, I'm going top bins. And that is the next evolution of this team, right? They're all hitting 25, 26 now. Realise how talented you are and realise that sometimes the coaching can go out the window. It's Champions League quarterfinals. It's overhead kick time. Break the script and do it.
Part of that's got to be on Arteta a little bit to loosen those shackles because he is such a micromanager from the touchline, in my opinion. But we can't take anything away from him. That was an unbelievable performance. Obviously, KJ, you hate Arsenal with a passion. And the mad thing is, you can't take anything away from this and going, oh, well, you guys got lucky. It literally could have been so many more. If Courtois didn't have the game of his life, it could have been 6 even.
And this is what hurts the most is, Arsenal fans, they're really good at social media and stuff, so they're going to let you know. But they got phrases like, bend it like Declan. That's a piss take. That's up there. That's up there with just taking the piss. But then he was just great yesterday. I want to hate on him. Agenda needs to agenda. And in these moments, you have to say to yourself, that first goal was ridiculous. The first goal, I've never just watching that, and we're recording. I'm at DR Sports recording this. I'm not far from the Arsenal. And the first one, you can always hear because they're loud. So you hear the Arsenal fans and you're thinking, oh man, something's got to happen. And then, so the first one was cool. So it's like, oh shit, a goal. The second before it, I'm like, I hear it again. And I said, no way. Declan Rice, the second one's even better. And Thibaut Courtois is not a scrub of a goalkeeper. It's not like Sanchez in goal. No disrespect to my guy, Onana, that you can say, that's possible. This is probably one of the greats.
Best keeper in the world at the moment.
He had a great game. He had a 10 out of 10 game. That was the maddest thing about this. And all the goals, including Moreno. Do you owe Moreno a bit of an apology now, Jacob? What we say?
So I do an Arsenal podcast, and there has been a challenge set with me that if he hits a certain tally of goals, I'm walking away with a Mikel Merino tattoo this season.
I love it.
So
how many?
I don't want to say. I've got to keep this.
Please.
No. I've got to keep this quiet. I've got to keep because he only needs 2 more goals this season. And I've got that's it.
Because he's on 8. So you're double figures.
10. I said 10. I said he's not going to hit double figures.
He's definitely hitting 10.
Oh, he's hitting 10. He's hitting 10. He needs to. Oh my God, you're in trouble.
Honest conversations now. Yeah, you boys been watching Mikel Merino, right? The finishing, the ball striking, the ability to get I'm going to say it now. Is he a better striker than Kai Havertz?
Mate, Josh, I'm going to let Josh take this one up, right? Because Josh is loving it.
Thank God he said it. Thank God he said it. Because, Jacob, 18 months ago, we were sat around a table that doesn't even exist anymore. And we were saying that you would go through the 7 stages of guilt of Kai Havertz. And you just come out with that.
Is this the 7th stage? It's finding acceptance.
Acceptance.
This is it.
Acceptance. Yeah,
He's not even the best midfielder pretending to be a striker.
Wait, though, guys, what happened there, though, with him realizing that, it's caused me to heavily look at my squad. If Mikel Merino gets more goals than Rasmus Højlund, Garnacho, and Xerxes, sell them all. They can go. They can go now. I'm telling you, there's no excuses. If he says he's a false 9 or a 9.5, I'm watching a 6, maybe an 8, whatever they call him, yeah? He's hitting it first time. Moreno's I think he's almost got more goals. Like, I think he's, does he have more goals than them?
Wait there. I'm finding out right now. How many goals do Garnacho, Xerxes, and Højlund have this season?
I'm not shameless to say that because he's already got more Premier League goals than them.
He might have more than all of them combined. Which
he hasn't.
Crazy.
He hasn't. Hopefully not. That's taking the piss.
Hopefully not.
I think it's going to be close.
I say with confidence.
It's going to be close.
So in all competitions, Garnacho has 6 goals in all competitions, but we're including like Europa League, FA Cup, Community Shield.
Don't include that.
Community Shield.
No, we're not including the Community Shield.
Community Shield.
No.
Xerxes, who actually gets rave reviews, has 3 goals in 27 fucking games.
That's disgusting.
Sorry. Okay, so Garnacho 6 goals total, Xerxes 6 goals total, Højlund 7 goals. So you're right in that your boy Moreno has more goals individually than all 3 of them who are actually paid to be attackers. And this is why I laugh when people say Garnacho got to get 70 million for him. It's like,
I'm still trying to get it, mate. I'm trying to swindle someone the way we've been swindled. I need to do it once.
Can we talk about Real Madrid a little bit?
Yes.
Because it kind of reminded me, this game, a bit of sorry to bring Newcastle into it, but when Newcastle showed up against Liverpool and Arsenal in the Cup, we were so much more up for it. And it just felt like Arsenal knew, like, we're fucking here to take over this game. We're not going to be bullied. And Real Madrid were not expecting what came. Let's talk about the likes of Mbappe. Like, that one chance he had when he was through on goal.
He's their best player, though.
I mean,
but like Brian says, that one chance he just shuttles it straight at David Raya.
Yeah.
Bellingham, I didn't notice him on the pitch. I'll be honest with you. Modric, fucking Gail Platt in the middle of the pitch, 40 years old. It's not happening, man. And the thing is, I hear what you're saying, Brian, about us, taking the game more seriously, applying pressure. We didn't just bully them though. This wasn't just a physical thing. We weren't just bigger than them. We didn't just win second balls. We outpassed them. Like, we passed through them into the pitch. One more for Miles Lewis-Skelly, by the way, 18 years of age. He shouldn't be on the pitch this season. And he turned up yesterday. Some of the passes through the lines, winning duels with Camavinga. I just think so many of those Arsenal players yesterday, and we've had a shit season. Let's have it right. This hasn't been a fun season as an Arsenal fan. But last night, I think what I want to say, I watched Monday Night Football. Carragher was talking about the way Arteta responded to the Everton penalty at the weekend, right? And Carragher was going, it's like he still thinks that there's a chance. It's like he doesn't think their season's dead. And I've got to be honest, I thought our season was dead. All of our fans thought our season was dead. But our manager and our players still had hope for this season. And suddenly, 90 minutes against Real Madrid later, we've gone from a completely dead season to suddenly, I'm looking at flights to Munich.
No. Let's be real here. Let's be real. This is, and I know the pressure comes with this, but this is Arsenal's best chance to win a Champions League since they were last in the Champions League final, in my opinion. It's not just because of how good they're looking in this game, but the levels of the sides that are remaining in, right? Like, if Man City was still in their peak or Liverpool was still in in the competition or whatever, you may be more worried. Really, once you get rid of Real Madrid, which you would obviously expect them to, Bayern Munich are currently trailing. Barcelona are a good side. PSG have looked good, but they haven't got the stars that they used to have. It's a very winnable competition. It's winnable, man.
However, you're leaving out one team, though. That could be a problem, and maybe if it might feel how that game against Real Madrid and Atletico was, if Aston Villa beat PSG, Arsenal versus Aston Villa, Emery, that game's scarier than we can imagine. It's not an
100%.
easy game.
What? Bang on the money. If PSG beating them already, Barcelona, I'll give us a chance. Villa are the team that scare me the most in the Champions League.
Because they know you, right? And that's what Arteta does struggle a bit with, those sort of situations, like with Eddie Howe and people like that. Now, if Arsenal win the Champions League this season, and you don't have to go too deep into this, lads, and I know that would be the worst nightmare for KG. I mean, the worst season ever, that, really.
Newcastle got a title.
I know, man.
Leeds are about to get promoted. Liverpool won. That's
Liverpool winning the Premier League.
Yeah, I've
right?
done something wrong.
This is
horsemen. The four horsemen of the apocalypse.
Honestly. And question for the lads: who had the better season, Liverpool or Arsenal?
If they win it, if
they win the Champions League,
I would say Arsenal personally. Yeah,
I think
Go on.
It hasn't happened yet, and so I don't want to speak ahead of time, but like, if we were to win this Champions League, it would feel like we'd overcome something really big in terms of the injuries. Kai, Saka, Magalhaes out now. I don't know about you, how you feel about Liverpool's title this season. This doesn't feel like a historic title win. And that's not me shit. They're a fucking brilliant team, and Mo Salah's had one of the best seasons we've ever seen for a Premier League player, but I don't know. How do you boys feel about this Liverpool title?
That's how I'd like to explain how I feel about it. Is like, with Liverpool, a lot of this squad obviously has been there through Champions League wins and a Premier League title win and multiple other cup competitions. This is that same squad that's been polished a little bit, but not added much to it. Whereas Arsenal, there's a mental block there when it comes to this competition, much like Newcastle had a mental block for fucking decades, right? And I think that as a fan who's trying to just reach up and grab, pull these teams down so that we can get over them, it would worry me a lot that Arsenal had broken this, especially for Arteta, and it could potentially supercharge Arsenal in a way that I don't think this Premier League title win can supercharge Liverpool, because there's still quite a lot of rebuilding going to need to be done in the future with Liverpool, whereas Arsenal, that squad is still, it's not nearly as aged as what the Liverpool team has.
Oh my God, they can't win it. This is serious. You actually, when you actually break that one down, because this is a kind of a hoodoo, it's the thing that's been on their back. We've been speaking, Chelsea fans, every fan that's won it will basically say, well, you haven't won this. This is the best trophy. There's the World Cup and then there's this trophy in my eyes. That's how I look at this one, yeah? Winning this, there's nothing you can say about Arsenal. Like, actually, it'll be okay. And then after, the league becomes a bit more easier, because now that whole bottle, there's a little bit of a bottle mentality that you talk about with the Arsenal in the last couple of years, like, always the bridesmaid. This is the biggest wedding you could ever have. If you ever win this final. This is it. This is the biggest thing.
Cup finals require bottle. Like that, as we've seen with Newcastle over the years. We've only finally just got our head around that. Josh, your team is the only London side to be Champions League winners. Would this feel like a big blow in that war with Arsenal?
I often do sing that song, Brian, so I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, no, this would be apocalyptic. I mean, that's the right sort of analogy here to think about. I mean, the way that Arsenal season can go now is insane. Like, we're literally on a knife edge here. They could have a really horrendous end to the season and, peter into mediocrity and could really end up finishing third if things don't go their way, right? I mean, it can literally go that way and then they don't win a Champions League title. Or they could go the other way, finish the season really well, win the Champions League title, and then you really do worry about them next year. If they win the Champions League and they go into next season having won that, I'm terrified of Arsenal.
Absolutely.
I'm scared of Arsenal.
Still a big if, by the way. I just want to say,
no.
Liverpool have won their title. We haven't. We've won the first leg of a quarter-final. So I don't want to talk as if we've done it. And it would be the most Arsenal thing in the world to knock Real Madrid out of this competition. And then Unai Emery does.
No, to be fair though, as well, lads. To be fair, right, I wouldn't even write off Real Madrid. I wouldn't even. I know it's 3-0.
Behave.
But at the Bernabeu, like, I'm not gonna lie. I know you're writing it off and you're talking about winning the Champions League, but fuck me, you got to get through your second leg at the Bernabeu.
Scoring multiple goals against Arsenal, you're going to need a player like Alexander Isak to pull that shit off.
You probably have someone like Mbappe. They literally, if they score early goals, and you know that crowd is mental.
And now, a word from our sponsors. If you're looking to book a holiday away in the sunshine this summer, then this could save you a lot of money. Saily is a brand new eSIM app. And what it does is it basically gives you a local SIM card that you can use when you're traveling, so you don't have to pay those crazy roaming fees just to send a text back home. And they've got eSIM plans in over 160 countries and 8 regions, so pretty much wherever you're going to be, they'll make sure you're connected. All you've got to do is click the link in the description, download the app, which works on iOS or Android, buy your plan, you can choose the amount of data and time that suits whatever you need best, and then install the eSIM on your phone. And when you land at your destination, you can activate your plan instantly. And the beauty about it is you only have to download this once, and whenever you go anywhere different, you can literally just buy a different plan for that destination, and boom, you're back watching me. And what I really liked about using this last time I went away to America is the eSIM was actually faster than the hotel Wi-Fi I had, and I got an unlimited plan that I could just scroll as much as I wanted, and I wasn't worrying about, am I using up too much data? So if you want to stay connected while you're away, click the link in the description below, go to saily.com/kickoff and use the code KICKOFF, all block capitals, all one word, and you can get 15% off your first purchase. Big thanks to Saily for keeping us connected, but for now, enjoy the video. Let's move on to the Premier League, lads. Top 5 now. Thank you to Arsenal. Guarantees Arsenal. Champions League football. And the race is getting tighter and tighter with Aston Villa, who have got 51 points, Man City 52, Newcastle 53, Chelsea 53, Forest on 57. So Forest look pretty certain to get it. And the other 2 places are between Chelsea, Newcastle, City and Villa. Newcastle have got a game in hand. It's looking pretty wild right now. Chelsea have stumbled against Brentford. Josh, how are you feeling generally about the race for top 5?
I think that draw against Brentford might be looked at the game in which we lost the Champions League potential. I think the way that Villa are playing, I think they're absolutely going to improve. I do think that City have losses in them. So I have a weird suspicion that Villa are going to finish above Man City. And then, with Newcastle, I think you're in the best position out of everyone right now in terms of having that game in hand. I think with the momentum after the cup final, I'm not just saying this because it's you, Brian, but I do think, and I predicted this earlier on, I think that Newcastle are actually going to finish 4th. With Forest in 3rd. And I think that's going to prove a lot of people wrong. I have no confidence anymore. Absolutely zero confidence that Chelsea will be there. The way that the manager's playing, the type of football that we're playing right now, it's so negative. We can't get simple results. And to be honest with you, our last 4 games of the season is nightmare fuel for me. I almost can't look at the fixture list.
What can you reel them off?
Yes, Liverpool at home. So Chelsea versus Liverpool, we're at home. Newcastle away, Man United at home, and Forest away last game of the season.
That is nasty. By the way, Chelsea apparently are the only team yet to win a Premier League away game in 2025.
That's crazy.
I'm looking at the top, the last 15 games to look at the form basically since around December time. And if you look at it, Chelsea are 14th in the league on form. What are you going to say?
Right, and Marc Cucurella is our top goal scorer. Just in 2025, Marc Cucurella is our top goal scorer. I'll just leave it.
Do you know the mad thing with Chelsea this season? I feel like the more like you play Enzo's football, the worse you get.
Wasn't it
the opposite with Poch, mate?
Yeah.
The more 100%. They had Poch, the better it got.
And and no one's looking at that because they started the season so great. It's like they on the marathon, they just started sprinting while no one else was, but they've really done well to get all those points. But I'm like, guys, something's happening over there at Chelsea, but no one's really talking about it because they're in a safe space and the drop is coming. The drop is.
We thought we thought Chelsea were in a genuine title challenge, and they were 12 points clear of Newcastle or something like that. It was mental. The fact that we've caught them up and overtaken them is wild. By the way, on that race for top 5 in the form table, you've got Man City who are in 7th in the league, Aston Villa in 6th, Nottingham in 5th, and Newcastle are in 2nd in the league, only behind Liverpool on the form for the last 15. Arsenal 3rd, by the way, Jacob, if you're worrying. Man United can't seem to say them.
I never really ups about us, to be honest. Can't seem really ups about us. That was unnecessary, that.
If you look at your fixtures, Brian, your fixtures are winnable. Like, the rest of the season I think you've got a lot of fixtures. Yeah.
Josh?
I mean,
you know the worry though.
I agree, Shaky.
Josh, you know this as well as I do, right? Newcastle show up in big games, right? We've showed up against the bigger sides generally aside from City this season. It's the little sides where we think, oh, we'll win the day and we fuck it up. So I really have no idea what's coming. And I think actually, given that our squad has not been improved on in fucking God knows how many windows and we're still playing Steve Bruce footballers, I actually think Man City and Chelsea, and no disrespect, Josh, I think they should be ashamed that we're even in the position that we're in. And don't get me wrong, Isak is a massive part of that, but still, the Pochettino versus Maresca debate is an interesting one. Pochettino got 63 points in total. Maresca currently on 53 with 7 games remaining after making an unbelievable start. It's looking more and more likely that Poch maybe was a mistake to get rid of him. When you look at what's coming in the future for them, they've got Felix coming back, Raheem Sterling coming back. They've got Mudryk banned for 4 years, potentially. Sancho and Madueke not doing a great deal. And then they're lying about FFP. And this is mind-blowing, right? Because Chelsea, bearing in mind, Newcastle was sold to the PIF for 300 million, roughly. Chelsea have decided to sell their women's team back to them to escape FFP ramifications for 200 million when they lost money last year on the women's team. I mean, it's mental, this.
I'm allowed to say this. We've actually given Todd Bowley a Nigerian name because this guy has become like an email scammer, bro. And I'm saying that as a Nigerian myself because it's all over Bowley right now. He can't sell. You are not allowed to sell your own stuff to yourself. No. This is criminal. These are serious loopholes, bro. You can't do this.
Loophole FC, mate. Loophole FC. I love it. Guys, what you're not talking about is this is a fair market value. It's been talked about with the Premier League. We've been in constant discussions with them, and we have used an existing women's team sale, and we've benchmarked that against it. And if that doesn't fit your narrative, if that doesn't fit your system, that's your problem. The Premier League.
I'm not even angry at Chelsea though. I'm angry at the Premier League because it's clear that they pick and choose who they give a fuck about. When you look at the Blue Core, who obviously own Chelsea, apparently it lost 430 million in the year 2023-24 season, and the season before they lost 678 million. It's making an absolute mockery out of FFP. And that's why I'm just like, you either enforce these rules or you don't enforce them.
Mate, it's got to the point with those rules now where it's almost like you're a mug if you follow them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's all like, let's have it right. First of all, Newcastle follow the rules, and then they're watching Chelsea sell car parks to themselves, sell women's teams to themselves.
Hotels.
Right.
It's a great car park, Jacob.
It's a great car park.
Story. Story.
But then, if you're a team that's coming up now, right, honestly, you can look at what all the teams that have come up recently have done, which is come up, straight back down, spend a bit of money, straight back down. Or you look at Nottingham Forest, who took a little points deduction, and now they're second in the league.
It's punishing the wrong people.
With an unbelievable squad. With a squad of players that would get in most other teams, who they've spent money on, by the way. And you go, you know what? If you're following the rules, you're the idiot.
Mate,
like you are.
They've points deducted Everton. They've points deducted Nottingham Forest and that. But what they haven't, Manchester United got an exemption. Chelsea are being overlooked. And it is, no, I'm not asked about it. My point is, and I'm not even complaining. If you can beat the system, then fucking do it because it's a mockery anyway. But either do it or don't do it because this is a joke in my opinion.
But this is the general point. I remember we had a discussion about this as well. Like FFP was never really fit for purpose. It punishes the wrong people. It rewards the wrong people. It was never a system that was ever based on any form of logic. It was brought in a rushed way. It was never ever going to work.
Yeah.
And so I remember sitting around the kickoff table and we literally just said, why don't we just allow free market capitalism to just win? Because quite frankly, it would be better than the state that we're in right now.
Teams
should come up and actually challenge.
We'll lose clubs though. That's the problem. When clubs were like literally couldn't, what clubs we said bye to? I can't remember the clubs
What we need to do, Bury. What we need to do though is we need to actually have a system which rewards the teams throughout the pyramid. We've talked about this over and over again. The Premier League money just needs to trickle down a bit more and these clubs won't be as, in a huge deficit that they're in right now. The FFP system should never have been introduced.
The idea that Bury are an example of why Newcastle's owners can't spend money is the funniest thing. And it just shows what a laughing stock the Premier League are. We'll move on to another laughing stock. Big Ange Postecoglou putting his ear out to the fans. How'd you like me now, eh? You think that's a bad sub, do you?
I just want to hear more from them, mate. I just want to hear more from the fans, mate. Bloody hell. They're so quiet at Stamford Bridge, mate. Fucking hell. I just want to hear from them.
When he says, I just want to hear more from the fans, do you know what it really reminded me? Like, it reminded me of when the head teacher dragged me into the office and asked me to explain myself. And he just was like, and he just come up with the first nonsensical thing that come to mind. And I thought, if you manage another game, which he actually has, because it was against a very easy win, at Southampton, wasn't it? But
yes,
the guy is making a joke out of Spurs. And I've got, Spurs family members who are Spurs fans saying to me,
oh, that's funny.
This is the worst manager we've ever fucking had.
Tell him I said hello as well.
And what? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And when I watch this, because obviously I'm watching Spurs Chelsea, and I'm like, you know what, we could really do with a Spurs draw here, just to help the Champions League thing. It was like watching an 11-year-old play FIFA, in that every player was just playing football like they were in the 91st minute, running all over the shop. There was no, we talk about Arteta micromanaging Arsenal. This is the complete fucking opposite. There's no management. It's just go out there, give it your all, lads. It was Steve Bruce type shit, man. It's unbelievable.
I think it's a disgrace that he gets paid weekly. Because the way the way he refuses to mould his tactics, to change what he's doing in the middle of a game, it's like he might as well just give a team talk start of the season and then just fuck off.
See you in January.
Here's the plan, guys. High line, keep going. Don't worry about defending set pieces.
Do it in the accent, Jacob. Do it in the accent.
It's high line, mate.
Right. You know what I love, though?
Just do it in August. Just do it in August and come back in May, because you're not changing anyway.
Mate,
what's the point?
He complained about the referees earlier this season getting a hard time, and he was like, the referees are losing, the respect of people. We need to just accept what they've got to say and take it on the chin. And then the amount of tune to changing is unbelievable. How he's now blaming them for everything.
That VAR call in the Chelsea game where he was saying we were sweating around for 5 minutes and it wasn't even a foul, was a joke.
It's not clear and obvious.
I think he's mentally weak, lads. I think he's mentally weak. He's not, at the top level, you have to be fucking pretty stoic and not let things make you look stupid. And he's made himself look stupid.
I don't think that's what it is. I think, when someone was good looking at school, but they went around a lot of other good-looking people. It's like when you send someone into the Love Island house and they can't understand they're not selected. So he's rattled. He's like, wait, but I'm good at football. I know how to manage. But mate, you was in, no disrespect to the league that he was in.
League.
Yeah. No disrespect, but you was there, mate. Now you're here and everyone can do that. Like, playing a high line is not revolutionary. Here, it's normal. It's just normal football. Yeah. So I think he's just dealing with the fact of, why don't you not love me? The media's turned on him. He didn't get the Jurgen Klopp effect. Jurgen was loved, but Jurgen forced people into submission because he could win a bit as well. This guy is just saying, mate, and high line and no wins, bro.
Mate, half of losses. Half of the games they've played, they've lost this season. Now, don't get me wrong. Spurs, they were never the best team in the league, but at one point they were right up there for quite regularly. And they'd garnered a reputation for being quote unquote big six club, right? They now should be like really worried at the point of, because Aston Villa and Newcastle are really moving into those spaces right now, and Spurs look a fucking million miles away. I think they need to change the manager at the end of the season.
Why are they doing it now? Why are they doing it now?
Let him stay. He's my favourite Spurs manager of all time. He's the only Spurs manager I've ever seen that feels the same way about Spurs fans as I do. He's a legend.
He wants to fire him, innit?
We'll leave arms there, because I'll let us know in the comments for that one. The final topic we've got on this one: Kevin De Bruyne leaving Manchester City, one of the most pivotal players you could argue in Premier League history. He's been a game changer. He's been a title winner. He's done it all, and there was definitely seasons there where he was the best player in the Premier League, in my opinion. I'm just wondering what his legacy will be, in your opinion, lads, and where you rank him amongst, the greats. Does he make it into a Premier League all-time 11, for example? Where do you rate him?
Yeah, for me, he's in there. I think he's a funny one because I think his position is almost a bit old school. He obviously played as an 8 for City for most of his career there. I still think of that team with him, Fernandinho and David Silva. And I can't think of many better midfielders like than him at his peak. I think if you put a Gerrard, a Lampard, a Scholes in the modern era, I don't think they're as good as Kevin De Bruyne, personally. My personal opinion. I think he's clear. I think
anyone disagree with that?
Oh, good.
Does anyone think he's the best?
I think it's. I personally would put Frank Lampard over it, but I would say that because I'm a jealous Chelsea fan that wants, Kevin De Bruyne to stay. I remember the season that he left, and I remember just saying to everyone around me when I was at Stamford Bridge, that boy has got immense talent. And for me, the question I always have in my mind is, would I rather have kept Mo Salah or Kevin De Bruyne? And I think the easy answer is Mo Salah, right? That's the easy answer. But I think the way that Kevin De Bruyne was metronomic, the way that he made things happen in that Man City team, the way that he laid on assists. I mean, he's the second highest assist, tally in the Premier League in history. I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous. So,
I also think he made 2 strikers in terms of Aguero and Haaland. He made both of those legendary Premier League strikers. Like Haaland's doing things no one's done before. Aguero's up there as one of the best strikers the league's ever seen. And I don't think it's unfair on those players to say that they owe a lot to Kevin De Bruyne for what he did for them.
Do you rate him in the all-time 11, KG? Because you're a Man United fan. I'm interested.
No, he's not in mine. He's not. If I'm
Let's say he plays him as a number 10.
I put Vieira in mine. I put Paul Scholes in mine. He just doesn't make it he's not making it into the midfield, unfortunately. He's a great player. It's wicked.
The fact
he's
that
wicked.
we're not
I think he's a wicked player, but I just, even when you hear Fergie speak, right? Fergie said he had four world-class players. Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes, Ronaldo, and Cantona. He said those are ones that made a difference. Obviously, time doesn't changes the way we feel about players. In the now, we're going to say, well, De Bruyne is way better than what Scholes was doing. But I remember seeing Scholes be the guy, can't get near him. That he's managing, even though he scored big goals, but he was just so important to the team. I know people rate Gerrard above Scholes because he had to do everything. But again, big fish, small pond. I think Lampard is the one that I got a lot of respect for because he's a winner. And the last thing I will say is we talk about these all-time 11s and they don't have Man United players in them. And that doesn't make sense to me because if they were so successful, why are they not there? When everyone talks about the all-time 11, I don't see the United players and it's baffling. You'll be lucky to get maybe 3 in the all-time 11 squad if we was to do it right now. And that's the shame. But obviously, never ignored.
I will say for me personally, I would absolutely give Kevin De Bruyne all-time Premier League 11. Let's say I play him as a number 10 with 2 midfielders behind him in my mind, because if you look at the stats, he's got 180 in assists in 274 games. He's got way more assists. Like take Wayne Rooney, who was a great player, right? We all accept that in that conversation. Wayne Rooney assist-wise, 103 assists in 570 games. So it's like less than half of the games or whatever. He's doing way more. He's doing more assists. Like he was a freak, Kevin De Bruyne. And I think maybe sometimes people may underrate him because of his lack of personality. But I think as good as Paul Scholes was, I think Kevin De Bruyne was actually, if we look really deep into the stats and see like what he actually did, and I know Scholes was good at controlling the game, De Bruyne can control the game as well quite easily, and I think that there's a level, if not multiple levels, between Paul Scholes and Kevin De Bruyne. And if you look at how often Paul Scholes played for Man United, and how much he was rotated, if you look at the way it went with England for Paul Scholes, the proof is in the pudding. De Bruyne was that guy. Scholes was never, in my opinion, the main man in the way that Kevin De Bruyne was. And I know people will hate that.
That's crazy.
But I think it's the truth.
That's crazy. Yeah. He's not a world carrier. And if I was putting a team together, my midfield 3, now Rodri, he'll get in. I'll probably say Carrick before. Rodri, Vieira, Paul Scholes. I'm happy with that.
Carrick.
I love Carrick.
All time.
Carrick was doing Rodri work before Rodri was doing it. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. We signed him.
He was a good player.
Carrick was doing Rodgy work before. Yeah. Like, he won the Ballon d'Or for that. Ballon d'Or for that, sorry.
Yeah. Carrick's not even the best defensive midfielder Man United have had. Roy Keane,
one of the best. I'm telling you, Carrick was underrated. They only respect him now. Has Rodri done anything that Carrick hasn't been doing?
That stings.
Mate.
Has Rodri done anything?
Mark Noble's a better player than Carrick was.
Carrick couldn't.
Exactly, but they didn't respect that there. They didn't used to respect that. They didn't respect that. I'm saying that that job that Rodri was doing, I've seen players do that.
Spiral.
Who's your all-time Premier League midfield three then, Brian? All-time Premier League midfield three.
I'd probably say Gerrard, Keane, and Kevin De Bruyne.
See, I've gone
yours, Jacob.
Josh, what's yours?
I'd probably go Vieira, Gerrard, Lampard. For me.
So you don't not putting KDB into, you just lied. No one's putting him in at all-time 11 then.
I'm not putting him in.
There you go. So we wasted our time saying that he's one of the greatest and then you're not putting him in.
KDB.
He is one of the great.
Here you go. KDB.
There you go.
Vieira.
Yeah.
Yaya.
Yaya's a show, you know.
Shit, Yaya
Torre is a fucking good show.
You know what? I would remove Rodri for Yaya. I mean Rodri for Yaya. If I had Rodri and Vieira and Scholes, fuck off. Let's go. What do you want to do?
I think Yaya's probably a better player than Kane, but I just like Kane because he's got that mentality. He'll drag you through shit. You know what I mean?
But you get that from Vieira as well, innit?
Let us know in the comments. Your midfield three, Premier League all time. Get the fucking debate going. I want to hear what you've got to say. Put us right. Hit the like button, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.